Jasmine Crockett has announced that she's running for U.S. Senate. She wants the seat currently held by Republican John Cornyn, who is running again, but is vulnerable. And she wants to win the Democratic primary. And today there's an extraordinary report out from Notice and NOTUS that has the following headline: An AstroTurf recruitment process. National Republicans propped up Jasmine Crockett to push her into a Senate run. This is the backstory behind how they got her to believe she could win. And when she announced she was running, Colin Allred, the other contender in the Dem primary, immediately dropped out and said it was because she entered the race. And Beto O'Rourke is out, and it's basically hers for the taking. There's one other guy she's running against, but he doesn't have the kind of name recognition she has. This is on the Dem side. She's going to get crushed in the general, which is why the Republicans did this, and now are bragging about it. Here's the report. Republicans' Senate campaign arm has actively worked behind the scenes to encourage Crockett to jump in, believing that she will be the easiest opponent to beat. Just a month ago, there was grave concern among Republicans about the Senate race, where incumbent John Cornyn's running for re-election. Democrats were running two formidable candidates, and Cornyn was caught in the middle of a bruising three-way primary. The National Republican Senatorial Committee put out a poll in July with Crockett's name included because she had not been included in any of the previous polling. That poll showed her as the leading Dem in a hypothetical matchup. It was exclusively leaked to the Daily Caller at the time, showing her with 35%, Colin Allred at 20%, Beto O'Rourke and Joaquin Castro at just 13%. The fact that she was included in that poll was no accident. Those Republicans made sure she was. Then they started circulating it and making sure that her name got into other surveys. And she looked like she was, quote, surging in the primary. The Republican Senatorial Committee then worked to amplify those polls and is taking credit for helping, quote, orchestrate the pile-on of those polling numbers to really drive the news cycle and the narrative that Crockett was surging in Texas. And then, sure enough, Jasmine Crockett responded by, not to this article, but to her polls by saying, the more I saw the poll results, I could not ignore the trends that were clear. And now they say they are guilty, happily, of what they call an AstroTurf recruitment process because they wanted the other more threatening Democrat candidates to drop out, which they now have. And they have their very favorite opponent, Jasmine Crockett, to stare down whoever winds up with a Republican nomination. This is exactly what the Dems did to the Republicans in the primary process for the presidential race and other races that were happening, like Senate races. And even in the midterms before that. So turnabout is fair play.
Absolutely. It's perfectly good political practice. Politics isn't beanbag. It's a tough game and people play it tough. And as you say, the Democrats funded every chucklehead Republican they could find to throw them up there.
Yes.
The only problem with it is it can backfire. I don't think it is in this case. I don't think she has a chance in Texas. But still, it can backfire on you when you think somebody is so radical. You remember, I'm sure, all those lefties when Trump came down the escalator and announced that he was running, just saying, go ahead and run. We want you to run. Oh, my gosh, how wonderful. It's going to be so much fun to watch you get destroyed. Who's crying now? And I think that is a problem with this strategy. But frankly, I'm glad the Republicans are this savvy and smart. They're usually such buffoons when it comes to dealing with the political landscape. And this actually gives me a little bit of hope that they know what they're doing. I think in this case, they did the right thing. Yeah.
Right? So she first had her weird little campaign announcement yesterday with just her sort of staring into the distance and Trump insulting her.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it does get attention. So on that front, it's a win. But he was just saying what a low IQ individual she was, which is really probably not great, something you don't want to reinforce. Now she's out today with a rapper who appeared at a rally she was at, trying to rap about how great she is as she just sits there trying to look cool. Do we have that, Steve? Yes, we do. Stand by. Here it is.
never scared and she ain't never been. Who else willing to go toe-to-toe against the president? I can't wrap my head around someone who votes Republican. She advocate for feeding kids, they protect the ones touching them. Trump invading his own country with an army, what a joke. We remember Pearl Harbor by illegally bombing boats, but y'all thought we wasn't gonna do nothing but they think again. They only trying to scare her out of running cause they think she win. Listen, thought I told y'all we ain't never scared.
You get the flavor. She's sitting there trying to look like badass, Andrew, just like doing her nails.
If I knew you were going to play that stuff, I wouldn't have come, Megyn. I'm sorry.
I know. I'm sorry. You've done nothing to deserve this.
I just want to say, but Congress to me has become this weird collection of crazy women. I mean, is that just me? I don't want to be too sexist, but it just seems like every crazy woman in politics is in the House of Representatives at this point.
There's a lot of crazy in there.
I feel for Mike Johnson. I think he's like the poor guy. He's doing such a great job, and he's organizing. He's wrangling these cats, and I just see these women go off in these weird ways. Jasmine Crockett. You're right. Trump should be a little bit more polite, I think, in his dealings. It always blows back on him. People love the fact that he's so frank and he comes out, but whenever he starts insulting people, it always blows back on him. It's really a mistake, but he's right. I mean, there's no question that he's right. The woman if she's a fake. She puts on different accents for different people. She's and she's just a dimwit. She's just a dimwit. And I did like her crying sentimentally because she loves Texas so much when she announced her candidacy. It also was one of the saddest little gatherings of people meant to sort of, be enthusiastic and encouraging. So I think the Republicans have guessed right on this one, that she was the one to back. Mm-hmm. And I think it's going to be a disaster for them. But, again, this is one of those techniques that you always admire it when it works, but it can go bad on you.
Yes, I agree with you. I don't think there's a lot of danger of that in Texas. But to your point about the loons, especially the female loons in Congress, there's a Representative Haley Stevens. She's from Michigan's 11th district, and she just tweeted out, today the 10th? Today. She tweeted out, "Today I formally introduced articles of impeachment against Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who has turned his back on science and the safety of the American people. Michiganders cannot take another day of this chaos." And here is Haley Stevens during COVID, just in case you're wondering who the hell this woman is. Watch this.
I yield the gentlelady 30 additional seconds.
The gentlewoman is recognized for an additional 30 seconds.
Cause of their servitude, sharing in the profession with those who have not come before you. Similar times of trying medical need, wars and flus past. You will see darkness.
Latex.
You will be pushed, and our society needs you to stand together at this time. Our country loves you. To our doctors and our nurses, I wear these latex.
The gentlelady's time has expired. The gentleman from Maryland is reserved.
She's having herself a normal one.
It's like, who are these people, and how did they get elected? I remember Rush Limbaugh once saying that he wasn't afraid for America because Barack Obama was reelected. He was afraid for America because people would reelect him. He was afraid of the fact that the people would fall for that.
Yes.
And I feel this way about these people. Who votes for them? I see all this stuff online.
Michiganders. They're the same people who voted for Alyssa Slotkin. You've let us all down. Ever read the label on a typical bag of chips? It's often a science experiment of seed oils, MSG, artificial dyes, and mystery ingredients. Masa is part of the growing movement to bring back real food. Masa chips contain just 3 ingredients: organic corn, sea salt, and 100% grass-fed beef tallow. Not only do these chips avoid the bad stuff, they also taste delicious, too. Snacking on Masa chips is nothing like eating regular chips. With Masa, you feel satisfied, light, and energetic with no crash and no bloat. And if you love Masa, then you will love Vandy Crisps. Vandy, which is Masa's sister company, makes the most delicious 3-ingredient potato chips, too. Ready to give Masa or Vandy a try? Use code MK for 25% off your first order at masachips.com
or vandycrisps.com, or simply click the link in the video description or scan the QR code to claim this delicious offer. Don't feel like ordering online? Masa and Vandy are now available nationwide at your local Sprouts supermarket. Stop by and pick a couple of bags up before they're all gone.
Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.